Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. This time I'm installing this AEM wideband O2 sensor and wiring it up to data log through EEHack. Alright guys, hopefully you can see in there, but I just got the drill poked through just inboard of where the gas pedal throttle cable goes. Kind of an awkward spot to drill, but I think it's going to work okay. Alright, that's where the drill bit came through. Alright, so I've got this gigantic zip tie here taped to the wideband wire. And I'm using it as a fish tape to bring it in through the firewall. So this looks a little bit messy, but it's going to work just fine. So I've got the red and black wires coming from the wideband, which are the power, obviously. They're coming to the power that would have been for the stereo, and I've got them soldered nicely. And that's a good keyed power source, just like I want. And then there's some other wires here too. So according to the AEM instructions, these brown and white wire right here are a 5-volt analog signal out so that you can use it for data logging. And the white is the signal and the brown is the ground, but it's not just any ground. It has to be a sensor reference ground from the PCM, because between the PCM and the actual negative battery terminal, there might be just some fraction of a volt difference as current flows through the wire and the wire has a little bit of resistance. And that fraction of a volt, when you're talking about, a difference of 10 air-fuel ratios over only 5 volts, each little fraction can be actually a big difference in the number that you get. So you want to go to the actual sensor reference zero value that the computer's using. And then for the signal, of course, it needs to go to a 0 to 5 volt sensor input on the PCM. So the trick is to find those inputs that aren't being used on the computer. Now, I just deleted the AC on this car a couple weeks ago as part of my long tube header install, which means I now have this available to use. This was a pressure sensor for the air conditioning, and it has both a 0 to 5 volt sensor wire and a sensor reference ground wire. So I'm just going to use those. And I've extended the wideband wiring with this. I don't really remember where I got this. This was like leftover from a lighting kit or something like that, but it's going to be perfect. So I've run it through that same hole in the firewall, and I'm going to bring it right over here to these pressure sensor wires. All right, guys, so in EE Hack, I've enabled the wideband, I've selected the AC pressure input, and I pulled up the chart from the AEM wideband instructions that give a crossover from voltages to ratios. And so I've got 4.5 volts equals 18:1 air fuel ratio, and I was going to go 1 volt equals 9.69 to 1, but I can't actually select 1 volt. It won't let me change the low point, and the AEM chart doesn't go down to 0 volts. It doesn't read anything below 0.5 volt. All right, so EE Hack requires you to put in values for a low point of 0 volts and then a high point that you can choose, and I've chosen 4.5 volts. I know 4.5 volts is going to be 18:1 air fuel ratio because the table from the AEM wideband lists that value of 4.5 volts, but it doesn't list a value for 0 volts because the wideband that's outside the range of values that it can produce. So it never puts out a 0 volt signal, so there's no reason for them to say what that ratio would be. However, we can look at the values that we do have and figure out that for every 0.5 volt reduction, it's a 1.19 to 1 ratio reduction. So then we can extrapolate that down to, if it did put out a 0 volt signal, it would mean 7.31 to 1 air fuel ratio. So now we can enter that as our low point voltage for EE Hack. So even though this wideband will never put out a 7.31 air fuel ratio signal, that value sets up the curve correctly so that EE Hack can read the ratios correctly. All right, let's see if this will work. Connect. All right, getting data. Let's go for a drive, see if it'll data log. Turn this brightness down. All right, let's take a look. Okay, no knock. So, see, we've got some cells filled in. Looks like we're pulling a lot of fuel. I don't know why that's grayed out. It said down here, it says wideband configuration, but it's all grayed out. I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, I didn't click this. Let's try that again. Well, I mean, there's more data here than I used to have. So I'm thinking these values must be from the wideband, because this power enrichment table didn't used to look like that. Okay. All right, we've got data. Okay, so on this graphing page, it allows me to select wideband O2 at AC pressure, which is where this one is, and it graphs data. So it did data log. All right, so here's one of my old data logs from last summer, and you can see under this power enrichment AFR table, all it shows are voltages because that's what it gets from the narrow bands. It didn't have a wideband. And here's the one from the drive I just took with the wideband. You can see it actually logs ratios instead of voltages. So we definitely got data from the wideband. And holy cow, I need to richen that up a little bit at wide open throttle.